In this lesson, we're going to build a very simple musical structure from scratch. Notice the blank paper here. From scratch, that we're going to use as a basis for a very simple improvisation exercise. Now in doing this, my hope is that we learn a very valuable lesson, and that is this: that music is not just about harmonies, it's not just about scales, it's not just about meters and time signatures, it's not just about form, 12 bars, 8 bars, whatever. No, when we're done with this exercise, I hope you are deeply impressed with the importance of something called phrasing. So what we're going to do is build this up from scratch, and it's going to be fun, I guarantee it. We could have done this many different ways, but I chose to use a song structure that is very commonly used in lots of musics all around the world. That's an 8-bar song form. Simple, commonly used. By the way, it looks like 4 measures, 4 bars, 4 measures, same thing. But the double dots here mean repeat, so this is really an 8-bar song form. And let's continue, right? So it's 8 bars. Let's pick something else. And just to make it simple, let's define the tonality for these 8 bars. And let's define the chord changes. So let's keep it super simple. Let's just say we've got an 8-bar song that's in a major tonality. We've got a Roman numeral 1 here, which represents a tonic major triad. And let's just play that major triad without any chord changes. Let's just play that for 8 bars for the whole song. Super simple, right? And then let's add another detail. Let's go ahead and add a time signature. So, see how we're building a structure up here? We've got 8 bars. We've got a major tonality, just staying on the 1 chord. And now we've got 3/4 time. Again, these are arbitrary, but these are the kinds of things you're going to typically see if in most musics around the world. So you could just say we've got a waltz. We've got an 8-bar waltz in a major key, and we don't do anything but stay on the 1 chord the whole time. So, what do we do with this when we sit down to improvise? Well, before I show you an example, let's talk this out a little bit. There's a very key element missing from our conception of the music, right? And it's this. And to make that point, let me draw this out longhand without the repeat sign so you can clearly see the form, right? We've got 8 bars, all in the 1 chord, 3/4 time. What should be our mindset when we sit down to improvise over this, right? Are we going to play 8 separate things? Are we just going to run off at the mouth and go over the top of 8 separate things? Or, I don't know, something in between or outside that? Am I just going to mindlessly rattle off some notes from the major scale? No, we can do better. And so my suggestion to you, and this is going to unify all your improvisations, I guarantee it, is to think in terms of phrases. Now, this is not the only way to analyze these 8 bars or to divvy up these 8 bars phrase-wise, but it's a very commonly used structure, right? Instead of 8 individual unrelated events, what we really want to do when we sit down to improvise is think in phrases. So let's just commit to this structure for the moment and for our exercise at the piano. It's like, look, let's play a 2-bar phrase, present a theme or an idea, then let's play a second phrase that relates musically to that first phrase, and then also sets the stage for a third phrase, which also relates in some way, some artistic musical way to phrases 1 and 2, and then sets up a fourth phrase, which relates to the previous 3 phrases, and either brings the music to a close or itself sets up a return for the repeat. So we can do the whole process all over again. So let's sit down at the piano and I'll give you a few examples of this phrase-wise thinking when it comes to improvisation. So let's remind ourselves, we're going to play an 8-bar form with 4 distinct 2-bar phrases in a 3/4 time, and it's all going to be based on just a single major triad, right? In a major tonality. So, to that end, let's keep it simple. I'm just going to play a simple accompaniment on 2 notes like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to play just the notes from a C major scale, confined to a single octave. Got it? Let's see what we can do. Please don't despair if your first few attempts to improvise using this model were less than encouraging. Okay, don't worry, this is work enough for a lifetime for all of us, right, to keep improving upon this. No, our goal for this lesson, the takeaway from this lesson, is much broader than that. And that is this. Yes, the details of the music matter. Scales matter, right? The notes matter. Harmony matters. The chords matter. The tonality matters. The time signature matters. The number of measures matters. But there's also something else that matters critically, and it acts as a kind of glue to hold all these details together. And that's the artistic commitment to playing in meaningful musical sentences, also known as phrases. So, all I want you to do going forward in all your improvisations, no matter what it is, whether it's in rock, blues, jazz, classical, new age, country, whatever, is not just to think about the notes, not just to think about the rhythm, but to think about the level higher, and that is, how do you integrate all those together into meaningful, coherent, musical sentences? Got it? Great.